got this vision in my head of what I want the table to look like, and in order to execute it I'm going to need lots and lots of candles, and they have to be on a budget because I need lots of them. Hello, how are you doing? I hope you're very well. I've decided to get out and about today. We have got some beautiful weather today. Gorgeous blue sky, still a little chilly, it's hovering around 0, but it is gorgeous and a real change from what we've had and what is again coming tomorrow. It's still very stormy, very squally. I think there's high winds again forecast for tomorrow, gusting high 50s, 58, 59 miles an hour, something like that. So I thought today, because it's so beautiful, I thought get out and about. I'm going to have a little look in the shops and just take a sneaky peek at what is coming in for spring decor. I happened to be in one of the stores last week and saw that they'd started to put it all out, and I just didn't have time to have a look. So I thought today I'm going to come out and have a look. And especially I think in this video we're looking at decorating on a budget, and I think it is particularly important to get out there early. The whole thing of, you know, from nature the early bird catches the worm, and I think that is definitely true here, especially if you want to grab a bargain, because they will just disappear off the shelves no sooner than they put them out, and all the good deals get snapped up. And I think that it is the perfect time to be doing it. If you're not aware, then in the ancient Celtic calendar, next week, so around the 1st, 2nd of February, is what's known as Imbolc. Now, Imbolc sits midway on the calendar between the winter solstice, so the shortest day of the year back in December, and spring equinox. And of course, spring equinox is the midpoint between winter solstice and summer solstice. So if you think about it on a clock face, with maybe winter solstice being at the top, December at 12 o'clock, and spring equinox being at 3 o'clock, next week we're kind of sitting in between 1 and 2. And it's the what they call the kind of spring awakening. In the ancient Celtic calendar, this was known as the kind of spring awakening, and it makes sense. You're starting to see some signs, you know, snowdrops starting to kind of push through. It's apparently the official kickoff to lambing season, so that always signifies that spring is well and truly on the way. So it does seem like the perfect time to be starting to have a little look at what's in the shops for kind of spring decor. I always do try to stay in the moment as much as I can and really appreciate the season. But as I've said before, and I will say again, it is a balance. And you do have to be able to look a little bit ahead and do a little bit of planning. I mean, you know, in farming communities, they couldn't not plan ahead. The whole thing would just come crumbling down. You have to be able to plan ahead a little bit. And I loved one of the comments from last week's video, which we were looking at sort of easy ways to refresh your home for any season, but I suppose with a particular thought to the next season that we would switch up for the spring season. If you didn't catch it, I'll link it in the comments, in the description below. But somebody had commented and said it was a bit like that time when the seed catalogues come in and you flip through them and you plan your kind of spring and summer planting, and you can dream and scheme a little. So having a look at spring decor today and how we might change up our homes for the spring season is going to be a little bit like that. But as I say, first and foremost, the most important thing with decorating on a budget is to make sure that you snap up those bargains as soon as they hit the shops.
When spring is coming,
I do like shopping at Homesense because I think generally they do have a very good range, but you have to get in there early because the best stuff just disappears. And of course they have a great selection of all these very obvious spring and Easter accents and accessories. So if that's the kind of thing you're after, then it's definitely a great place to shop, and at great prices too. But of course, there's lots of other ways to freshen up your space for spring. You don't have to go for these, clearly obvious spring and Easter accessories. I do like a little seasonal mug, but I think you have to be careful and go for longevity. Something like this is great for Easter weekend, but you're not going to get much use out of it beyond that. My preference, if you're on a budget, is to go for something that you're going to get a bit more use out of. Something that just says generally spring or just gives some spring vibes. Bunny rabbits, always good for spring. I think you're going to get a lot more longevity out of them, or something like this that just says hello spring, but I would steer clear of anything that's just too Easter specific. Bunnies always say spring to me, obviously for Easter, but I just get the spring vibes from them. And I love these little white bunnies. Tuck them in a corner, not overly obviously Easter. And at $3.99, I thought they were a real bargain. Quite liked these two. Nice little dish for putting some sweets in or some nuts or something like that. I like this little one, and yeah, $4.99. I thought that was a great buy. They were pretty solid feeling as well, not overly lightweight. I like this bigger one too with the kind of double bunnies. I thought these were great too because come spring, certainly here in Scotland, it's still pretty chilly, and it's nice to be able to switch up your throws and blankets for something that's a bit lighter, brighter colour, but still with some warmth. These were a good selection too, and actually these would transition right through into summer. We like to keep some in the garden, or maybe just throw in the back of the car if you're going on a beach day or something like that. So yeah, I thought these were a good option too, and they are pretty good quality. Don't forget about tables, tablecloths. Maybe you're having the family round for an Easter dinner. There's some great buys there too. I quite like this range of plates and dinnerware that I saw. I wouldn't have the whole dinner service, I don't think, but I think the odd one is quite nice just to serve, maybe a cake or something like that. And at $4.99, that's pretty good. And I thought that what else would be a nice idea would be if you're going to visit family or friends over the Easter period, that maybe you could buy one of these plates and bake a cake, or put some Easter eggs on it or something like that, wrap it up in cellophane, pop a bow on it, and it would almost be an alternative to an Easter basket. Planters are a great way to spruce up your space for spring. It usually just introduces some nice lighter, brighter colours, and plants, whether they're real or faux. And I'm seeing these head planters everywhere. Drop a note in the comments if you've noticed this too, but they seem to be everywhere, online, on YouTube, in stores. I quite like these blue and white ones. I think blue and white just is a nice fresh feeling, and they were a pretty good price. It's quite nice to get different sizes that can add another dimension to your space, and different textures too. This one reminded me of some other vases that I picked up recently. Lovely, nice, clean, would do all seasons, and nice texture too. They've always got a great range of faux plants here, and I'm a big fan of faux plants. I just kill house plants. I can't keep them alive, so I'm all about the faux. And these ones I thought were pretty good, $9.99, so that's the whole vase and the plant and everything inside, so it just kind of comes as the whole package. And for not a lot of money, they can make a big impact to your space. So yeah, when you're shopping on a budget, I would definitely try and grab a couple of these if you can. There were also some lovely spring bedding options in store at very reasonable prices, perfect if you're on a budget. I think it's the perfect time of year just to spruce up those corners of your home that just need a little bit of love. And if that means, you know, just adding some new fresh bedding, then that would be the perfect time to do it. So yeah, some great value options in store here at Homesense as well. Cushions are a really easy way to mix up your space and just give it a good refresh for any season. I really like this one, but of course it was the full cushion and not just the cushion cover. Baskets, anything natural is a great thing to add to your space in spring too. I love this cushion. I think this was a Laura Ashley one. And yeah, that's the thing with Homesense, is the quality is always there. I did really like this one. And I like this one too, just something a little bit different. Again, just a really, really good quality cushion. A little bit more expensive, $24.99. Not quite so budget friendly, but it was lovely. And as I said, you know, this is just the perfect time of year to have a look around and see what in your home just needs a bit of a spruce up and maybe replaced. So things like doormats, kitchen mats, bathroom mats, they don't have to be kitchen cutesy and bunnies and Easter eggs. It's just a great time of year to freshen everything up. And you can really still do that on a budget. Back to the cutesy here, but yeah, seasonal tea towels, always a nice to have. But again, just Easter, it's maybe just a bit too specific. Something like this might just be better fresh, and then it would do you right through to summer as well. Also, when you're on a budget, be careful not to buy things that you're never going to use. I don't know how many times I've bought these kind of seasonal accessories thinking I was going to bake, and I've just never got round to it. They've lain in the cupboard, waste of money. Florals, always a good investment, and they've always got a really good selection here at Homesense. I really like the look of these ones. I just thought they were just unique, a little bit different, and a pretty good price too, $6.99, mid-range, not too bad. I thought that these sea holly were absolutely lovely, and of course here in Scotland the sea holly can kind of double as a thistle, and I thought these were a real steal, $1.49. That was pretty amazing. I thought I'd have a look next door in Primark. You can't get any more budget friendly than Primark. It's not a big one this, so it doesn't have a huge homeware department, but I thought it would be worth taking a look. I saw this throw, but honestly for £12, the quality wasn't nearly as good as the Homesense ones, so for an extra couple of pounds, I'd definitely be going and getting one from Homesense. Similarly with these stems, it looked quite pretty, but when I looked down, it's obviously just disintegrating, and that would drive me crazy in the house. I did like these mugs. These were super budget friendly. They were only £1, and honestly, they were perfect. Great texture, great spring colours. Yeah, I think if you just want a little switch up for spring, you can't go far wrong with these.
Hey, just jumping in here. So I'm going to now pop into the range, and I'm still going to be having a look at the kind of, bargains budget, home decor on a budget for spring. But what I'm also on the hunt for in here is I've got quite a big event coming up at home, a special event. I'm going to hopefully record it and put it together on a separate video and just kind of take you through the whole kind of planning of it, execution of it. So if you're at all interested in sort of entertaining at home, event planning, putting together, it's a special birthday celebration, and if that's your thing and you want to see the whole vision come to life, then you're definitely going to want to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss that one, which will be coming up probably just in a couple of weeks. But what I'm on the hunt for this event are candle holders. So my decor colour theme is black and gold, And I do have some candle holders, but I need a whole lot more. I've got this vision in my head of what I want the table to look like, and in order to execute it, I'm going to need lots and lots of candles on the table, and therefore lots of candle holders, and they have to be on a budget because I need lots of them. So I thought the range might be the right place to have a look for those, as well as I say, we'll have a look and check out what spring decor they've got. So let's go and have a look.
When lights go out, you're in my mind. I close my eyes, so it's just you and I tell myself you'll be back again. When the stars are aligned, we will dance in the meadow on our favorite place. When spring is coming, space for a dance in the meadow on our favorite place. When spring is coming,
I saw these ceramic artichokes and I thought they would be a really good budget-friendly addition to any spring decor at only $5.99. Sizable piece, bang on trend. Then I saw these kind of concrete cast ones, stoneware. Pretty good price as well. I think they were $5.99 and so heavy I could barely pick them up. Now this store does all the kind of wedding event decor if you're putting together your own wedding decor dressing a venue, which is why I thought it would be the perfect place to look for vases for the candles that I'm looking for. But they've got a great selection. So if you're in the UK putting together your own wedding, dressing the event space, don't forget about the range. Great options in here. So I'm looking for some tall vases that I can fill with water and then put floating candles on the top. These ribbed ones were pretty good at £7, but I think I might prefer clear. I think they would sparkle more. So then I saw these clear ones, a little bit narrower, but pretty much exactly I think what I'm looking for, and at £6 each. Great price as well. I saw these with the crackle glass, a little bit more, $8.99. Nice, but I think I still prefer just the plain glass ones. I saw these floating candles, which were super budget friendly, but look at the burn time, only 2.5 hours, which isn't nearly enough for an event. You don't want your candles fizzling out halfway through the event, so I'll order some online, I think. I also saw these, which I thought were beautiful and would have been perfect for the event that I'm putting together, but they're just a bit out of my budget. At $15.99, if I need lots of them, I think it's just going to be a bit too much. I'll keep them in mind. I might go back and just get 1 or 2, but to do lots and lots of them, I think it's soon going to add up. budget wise. I also spotted these mugs in the range, which again at £2.49, very budget friendly, and they would be a nice little addition. They're somehow giving me Le Creuset vibes. I know that Le Creuset, the mugs do look very different, but just the shape of them. And I thought this little jug was quite nice too. Again, it would transition right through into summer, pop it in the corner of a kitchen, and they had some mugs and things to match as well. So yeah, very budget friendly if you just want to switch things up and just add a little bit of touch of spring, summer to your kitchenware. Thought these were very good too. Again, these were kind of giving me Denby vibes, that sort of stoneware look, but yeah, just a nice little switch up for spring. If you're more traditional, these were actually bone china, and with the kind of spring flowers on them, it might be that you prefer something a bit more traditional like this.
When lights go out, you're in my mind. I close my eyes, so it's just you and I tell myself you'll be back again. When the stars are aligned, we will dance.
So that's about it for this week. I hope you managed to find some inspiration there, maybe spotted a few things that you've got your eye on, or you know, if you don't have these particular stores where you are, then at least you know, you've maybe seen a few things that you've kind of thought, yeah, I'd quite like to refresh that in my home or change up this in my space as we move towards spring. And I'm very aware, as I've jumped back in the car here, that it is almost almost 4 o'clock and it's still completely daylight, which is lovely. Yeah, I mean, here in Scotland, if you're not from Scotland, you might not realise that by the time we get to summer solstice in the middle of June, it barely gets dark here. We maybe have about 2 hours between sort of 11:30 and 1:30, or between midnight and 2, something like that, where it's dark but it's not completely pitch dark, and then it gets light again. So very, very long days here, very, very light nights. So that's where we're heading towards, as I said at the start, in bulk next week. So we are definitely getting there. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you found this interesting today, what you've got your eye on, what's taken your fancy from our little shopping trip today. Thanks for your company, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.